trade specialist by day and a musician by night, Lisa Emmanuel, who's better known as ML, is a dynamic young woman who gives a new meaning to the terms purpose and impact. Through her music, she inspires with messages of empowerment, and as a mentor, she inspires and uplifts young entrepreneurs to take up spaces in the business sector. Maria holds a Bachelor of Science Agricultural Economics degree from the University of Namibia and a Master's degree in International Trade Law and Policy. She is passionate about music, trade, agriculture, and entrepreneurial mentorship, and wears her different hats effortlessly. She joins me in the studio this morning. Good morning, Maria.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
Good morning, and we are looking like diamonds.
We are. We actually
are
are.
sparkling.
We're sparkling.
We spark. Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful. Good morning.
How are you? Welcome.
fine.
Thank you for joining us
Yep.
here on 99 FM.
Thank you so much.
You know, I've met you in spaces, you know,
Yep.
at shows and things, but I've never had, you know, the sit down to
Yeah.
talk to you about who Maria Emmanuel is. Let's get started off right there. Tell us a bit about your background and what made you who you are today.
Yo, you know, you gave me such a beautiful intro. I think I should just maybe fill in the gaps.
Okay.
But I should say that I'm an ordinary girl.
Yeah.
You know, from Namibia. I probably had maybe an interesting journey growing up because I was born in Ohangwena region, in Ohalushu. And when I was about 4, 5, maybe 3, I left the country with my grandfather then. He was a diplomat, and I sort of grew up in Belgium, Brussels, for a while, where I did my pre-primary to primary, and then I also ended up posted again to South Africa. I schooled in Pretoria, Waterkloof, and then I came back to deep from international school to the village.
Yeah.
So I at the point where I didn't really know how to sort of speak Oshiwambo. So when I got back into the village, I had to learn. Like I tell you, not 6 months.
6
Because
months.
there's nobody who speaks English.
Yeah.
You are in the village. You go to the school is in the village. At my grandparents, so everybody around me, you know. So I was sort of that kid who spoke English, who could speak English in the village, but also that doesn't really matter on a daily. So I had to speed up and learn Oshiwambo and stuff. And fast forward, I actually completed my high school. I went to Walfish Bay from grade 8 to grade 12. I completed my high school there.
Yeah.
Very interesting again. I had then learned Oshiwambo, but now there's Afrikaans. On Spratet Afrikaans. So as you can hear, the accent is a bit, delayed in its thinking, I think. But it was also a good learning curve, growing up in Walfish Bay. So I think as a person, I will normally remember different flashes of my life, but mostly I lived mostly in Walfish Bay as a teenager. Of course, I came to University of Namibia then when I came to do my degree, and I started working just when I finished. But I think before that, what was interesting for me is that I then joined I had always been writing music.
Yeah.
And when I got to the university, I started looking at the fact that I needed to get into studio. I needed to practice, I needed to hear my voice and sing. And I ended up sort of getting into the industry back then. And as you said, you know, a lot of people say, oh, that, you know, been long here, but we started back then just following and managing and crafting sort of your art.
Yeah.
And on the music side, I just started like 3 years ago professionally. But I think on the professional side, we can continue. I have always been sort of really shaping myself in the professional side, being in school, learning, reading, and participating in the different things.
Yeah. We are going to get to the music side
Awesome.
in a couple of minutes, but let's quickly talk about your childhood. You know, your biggest dream when you were a kid, growing up. What was your biggest dream?
I think when I was about already 5, I was already into music. But I wasn't even dreaming that I was going to be a musician per se.
Yeah.
I thought, because there's a part where I used to also write movies, like script writing, where I do scenarios of that. But I really didn't know. I just thought I had this energy that I want to be somebody. I want to be somebody who stands up sort of on their own as an impactful person.
Yeah.
More about myself, more about being, you know, whole and satisfied about myself.
Yeah.
Than anything else that I want to be, like a pilot or whatever. But I think it's only when I got to, because even in high school, I wanted to then become a bioscientist. Really. because I was doing science, and there was this career guidance thing that they guide us to, and then they sort of shifted me to everything chemistry, everything biology.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what you like, and that's what you sort of pick on the thing, and that's what you know. But I was a bit disappointed when I went to UNAM, and they didn't have that in writing. You had to either do pure science or that. Where I started off in pure science, but I ended up sort of also meeting a friend who introduced me to the agriculture faculty, where we could do agriculture economics, for instance. And I didn't know until second year, when you needed to sort of choose where you want to go, because science you start off first year and you can choose whether you're going to engineering and this and that and that. And then I decided right there, and I didn't even know what was it gonna be. I only in the third year I really got what I wanted to be, and I thought that I wanted to be somebody who works in international trade.
Yeah.
And I think since then I sort of just knew what I wanted to put my energy in, what I wanted to sort of study and find out, network around, and that's really what I did. And my, one of the things was that I need to do my master's degree, and that's what I did. So I started really being serious at that stage where I needed to set goals and make them happen.
Yeah, especially in regards to agriculture and wanting to, get into that.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the fact that you had. Did you have side hustles? I'm guessing you had like a bunch of side hustles, Maria. Like.
I think I'm one of the conservative person when it comes to being. I feel like I somehow congratulate myself not going into pressures of having things that I can't afford.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, I feel like I fund my side hustles more from my professional salary as opposed to getting money elsewhere. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that means that for a while I had to like sort of stick to second-hand cars. And it's a topic that a lot of people we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Because you kind of like want to see me driving a Mercedes-Benz or like a BMW already.
But live within your means. You're living within your means.
I can't because now that takes away the whole salary. Then I have to squeeze into something, and sort of you decrease your quality of life for this opulence type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And over time, what that does is that you don't really have much left to invest in your growth, and not just invest right away in a business, but just in your growth, in your growth that is sort of. You only see it later that this is soft growth.
Yeah.
So I really want to explore that area, especially when you get to writing a book. That I think that contributed to a lot of where I am. That I didn't rush for the opulence lifestyle that my mate would do in my circumstances as having a professional job.
Yeah.
Even now, I'm only maybe trying to get a new car now after like 5 years, right? So I'm like tired of this car now.
Tired of the car now.
But for the 5 years, I had to drive that and divert certain funds that would have gone there to certain things. So no, I have side hustles, but I don't really have side hustles because, only now that these sort of ventures that I am into, that like the cosmetics and this tech startup, that I really focus my energy for the past years, that I fund from my pocket. I mean, they call me the bootstrapping entrepreneur or something like that. You bootstrap, like you fund from your boot.
You fund from the boot.
So I don't know if that answers the question.
It does. Also, when you wake up in the morning, what keeps you going? What motivates you to get up and do what you do?
So I remember when you come to university, you kind of get crazy. You meet new friends and you start a new job with friends, you chilling. Have you ever wondered what happens every time you go home? Like from the city, you go to your mom, you go to your parents. It grounds you. Because to be honest, we all come from where we come from. We don't come from much.
Yeah.
We come from the base, literally. All of us, all of us, we all come from the base. I mean, you're lucky your parents are above, you went to international school, whatever.
Yeah.
So what motivates me really, I think for me, it's my family, my mother, my siblings, and my friends when I go home, and she invested so much in me as a woman, hardworking woman. She had to do what she had to do to work hard to sort of just make sure that I give you the opportunity you need, which is education.
Yeah.
And being a UNAM and getting like 300, 250 per month for your territories and groceries motivates me enough to know what I need to do when I wake up every morning. So I think that
family.
That motivates me.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. You also recently took up a new role. Can you tell us more about it and what you love so far about it as well?
So I didn't expect. I mean, I just posted it.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
I think as people sort of in the public here and there, you try to also, people knew you from there, so you also want to give them that courtesy to say, "Oh, okay, I'm also now here."
Yeah.
And I think it was quite impressional when I posted that new job, new ventures, new money, new everything, because we all seek for that. We come to a point where you also want that new greener pasture.
Yeah.
And that was really for me. I'm currently the technical advisor at the Agriculture Trade Forum.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Hardworking woman.
Yes. And I think really it's for the first time where I come back to, when you're growing up, you always have to work hard.
Yeah.
To be honest, like your first 3 years of work, your sixth year, until 10 years, like you're working hard, you must take up jobs, you must, sacrifice. And I think that's what I've been doing maybe for the past 10 years, because I'm also just working now for the 10th, 11th years, right? I'm big, guys, don't even think.
You've been working towards this.
Yeah.
You've been working hard towards this. Yeah.
So for the first time, I'm in a position where I'm adding value. And in the interview, I said, I know you're looking for somebody to hit the ground running, right? You don't want somebody who's going to start 6 months to learn and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's me. So I'm very, lucky, privileged to be in the role where I am. I'm also coming back to my passion. It's everything to do with agriculture, economics, everything to do with international trade, so market access, trying to promote Namibian products in the export market. So we're looking at things like exporting beef, exporting pasta polana. We're exporting pasta polana to South Africa, but now we need to expand it into other markets. The grapes. You know that Namibia's most grapes are going to Europe because of the lucrative market there. They have a better price, unfortunately. And the period where it's harvested into that market, we're the only one. Can you believe it? There's a season in Europe where people are only eating Namibian grapes because it's the only grapes that's ripe in the world on the shelf. So we take advantage of that period and you get the premium price out of it. So that is really what I'm doing in this role that I am now. It's
Speaking about the things that you're passionate about, can you also tell us, your passion when it comes to mentoring entrepreneurs? Why is that passion, or why is that so important to you?
Again, I think I was lucky to start off young, but yet very privileged to sit at a table. I had a wonderful boss who sort of just took me with already from day one. I mean, I was a freshman from UNAM, and he's like, let's go to these meetings. So these meetings shaped my learning fast because you sort of already have the high level happenings. But when I come back, I come home, not just home, but to myself and to all my peers. They don't have this information. Because I guess sometimes you have to get into a certain class, into a certain level to also be at the table. And that sort of inspired me back then to say, how do I add value? How do I actually share this information that's supposed to be into public domain? So I started off writing, doing articles here and there, but more business articles like, how to get into chicken production. These are the steps. This is what government has, these are the opportunities. This is the market. So I present the numbers, and you as a business person can see the opportunities in that. And it got to a point where people were sort of coming through, individually saying, I read your article. What can you do for me? I read, and it becomes a lot. And I thought, maybe I can actually try to do like a group thing.
Mentor.
Where I take off Saturday, 2 hours, and these 10 interested people will get into the room and we do that. So it's really something that took shape over time. I didn't just say I'm going to be a mentor, and I started off, as you see, that I also started off like more like a social responsibility to myself, and because these are the same people that also don't have money to pay for the information, and some of this information is really free. It's just that they don't know where to get it and they don't know how to add value to it. So it's saying that Namibia imports 60% of our chicken. So to a business person, that's like, wow, I can either get into that business to import, or I can produce to add to the local production. So those are the two things that you give somebody to make a decision. So then now I'm passionate about it. I know that we don't have a lot of people that have information, so I really want to and sometimes it's time.
And also giving back, you know.
Giving back.
You've learned and you've
Yes.
experienced and you've attained the skills. So now giving back to those who also need the skills, like you say, who can't always afford the information.
Exactly.
So that truly is a beautiful thing. Maria, you also just recently became an international award-winning musician,
Wow.
right? And we spoke about this off air just a
Yeah.
few minutes ago. Tell us about that award and what it means to you as an artist and also as an individual.
I was checking a couple of my friends and that I met there that won awards, and they were like, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. It's really true. You don't really expect it. But I think for me, the spirit of being nominated in Zambia, and this is our first annual awards in Zambia, and these guys thought like, let's make Zambia awards and recognize Africans as well that are doing the same thing, trailblazers that are impacting and stuff like that. And at first, people were skeptical because you feel like, okay, we've never heard of these guys. I mean, who are they? They don't even have a sponsor here. What shady things are these? And you are also, as an artist, you have a brand. Like, should I retweet? Should I not? And what should I do? So that was in the beginning quite difficult. But at the end, you realize that I'm one of those people that will sing even for the one person who's in the room. Because that one person could also tomorrow take you.
Yeah.
And that inspired me to say, look, if this one person could say, we think you are making an impact from this point, why can I not take the 50% and promote myself? So I think really I did try to do a lot between the 2 months that were nominated, to just make it aware to my fans, to repost and vote me and give information and stuff. And to a point where they said, look, we want you to perform. And I realized that they had only invited me as a Namibian artist. And I took that opportunity. I said, you know what? If I don't show up, Namibia doesn't show up.
Exactly.
So again, that type of thing motivated me. And of course, my fans will then say, bring it home, it's ours. So they boost you behind.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And last minute, I was in Zambia. I met a couple of my Namibians as well that were nominated in the different things. But I think what I took away from the Zikomo Awards, by the way, is the fact that I feel like all the awards in the world are always centered around musicians, and therefore musicians are sort of made sort of superior creatives.
And it shouldn't
if you think
like
about
that.
it,
Yeah.
those guys, it's like inclusive. It's equal whether you're a makeup artist, stylist, fashionista, content creator, you're a model. Everything was inclusive, and even artists were just part of it. It was not about musicians.
Yeah.
It was about creatives in Africa, and I think that was quite beautiful, and very happy to be about it. And I'm happy that I got an award.
Congratulations once
and
again.
I'm here, and I was like, wow.
Congratulations, yeah.
And I think for my career, it just elevated me.
You did. You
So
really did.
I can't not acknowledge that and just say wow, and the support.
And the support that you have been
from
receiving from
my
the
country
fans.
and stuff.
Exactly. Before we let you go, Maria, just quickly, at this very moment, what are the 3 things that make you proud to be Namibian?
When I travel and I see Vitu Klaga,
Yes.
like I was in Zambia, Vitu Klaga, I'm not Zambia, Tanzania. I thought I was in Vitu. Definitely Vitu Klaga as a product, as a brand out there. Namibia is crazy. I'm thinking about all the things that I would be proud, which I am.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that we could
Still
get
work
right
on, yeah.
fast. And I think every other athlete currently, the Namibian hockey team, proud to be Namibian. They just came back, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
And of course also the other athletes, I can't mention all the names, but there was also just the fact that these are athletes or whatever you're doing, and you went out to as a Namibian and you won, or you participated, make me proud to be Namibian. Really, Teresa, please give me one of yours. Please, let me just borrow one thing.
From me, but this is your moment,
Yeah.
Maria. This is your moment.
Yeah.
You have to tell us what makes you proud to be Namibian.
And I think in all everything else that's happening, I'm proud of Namibian for the diversity of it.
Yes.
We might not be using the diversity of it very good, looking at the different things that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
But there's this big diversity of Namibia that makes me proud to be Namibian.
That's the one I was going to mention as well, just so you know. Maria, thank you so much for coming through and talking to us. And again, congratulations on your Sokomo Award.
Thank you.
The song that we're about to play, I think everybody knows the song. Exit and Emma Go to Malawi. How many years ago was the song made?
This is now like maybe a decade.
Really? 10 years?
I think so, or maybe 7.
Maybe 7.
Yeah,
No,
7 to 10.
I feel like it's been 20. Like it feels like
No,
it's
no,
been
no,
so...
no. I don't know. It was at least a decade ago.
A decade ago.
Maximum, but maybe
Yeah.
7, 8 years.
Do you still remember making the song?
Definitely. It was like a crazy day. It was very relaxed. We did one song, and then this beat came on. It's like T T T. So we felt like
yeah.
And there was a situation in the room, and it was like a very silly thing because the producer guys from Malawi, Match Beats. So we were
was
like,
it Match Beats that made the beat?
Yeah, it's like Match Beats, and we were like, you're from Malawi, and it's very fast. So in this scenario, this person just take them away. It was more like a joke in the way it's like, go to Malawi, and it's amazing how it just
came together, and now it's the song that
I'm always amazed about like this song.
Maria, thank you so much once again for joining us here at 929, and look forward to seeing you perform live again. I haven't seen you perform live in a minute, so looking forward to that moment once again. Thanks for joining us. Maria Emmanuel, also known as ML, in the building, chatting to us about where it all began for her, where she grew up, and of course winning an international award.